2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Don't touch me. I'll beat your brains out.
You believe in miracles? Yes! I mean, you can take a knee.
Hey, brother.
And try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl. Let's get ready for rumble. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. California! The big game over Stanford!
I think that the NFL knows what Randy Moss has done with marijuana, and I think the NFL knows what Randy Moss does with marijuana.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Good morning, and thank you for joining me.
Top of the morning, everybody. Those of you already on Facebook Live, the millions obviously listening around the world on Blog Talk Radio, live from Hollywood. This is Tough Love. I'm Alistair Conrad. I'll get rid of that real quick. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I'm cutting it short today. I'm doing 15 minutes. More so because I know there's a ton of football to talk about. The Vikings last night. Tiger Woods is, 4 shots off, the pace today. But at the same time, I'm tired. I'll be honest with you. I'm tired. Last night, Brian, my little brother's on Facebook Live. I will talk to you about that in a little bit. I didn't get a lot of sleep. I shouldn't say that. I don't necessarily remember going to bed or like how much I actually got. So with that said, I will definitely be cutting this short. 15 minutes. So with that said, like I mentioned, Tiger is back in contention, and golf is just better with Tiger. Whether you like it or not, that's just fact. And there's just something about watching him play. And they showed a graphic yesterday during the golf tournament, and it showed everybody who was in, I think, the top 10 or top 15 at the time, and how many majors they actually had. And, I think Jordan Spieth had 3. Brooks Koepka, who, by the way, went on a tear yesterday and is leading going into today. 1 shot over Adam Scott. They'll be in the last pairing. But he had 2. Jordan Spieth had 3. Everybody else kind of had 0 or 1. And then there was Tiger with 14. And granted, he hasn't won one, I think, since 13 was the last one. So it's been a while, yet he still has 4 times as much, almost 5 times as much as the next closest guy. On the leaderboard with Jordan Spieth. So, there's just something about watching him. And yesterday he had that look. He had the club twirl. He looked like old Tiger at times. So, I'm not expecting him to win today and come back. But if he did, that would be epic, and I would be thrilled about that. Because I'm a Tiger homer. I love him. So anyway, that starts at like 11:30 his tee time, my time, Pacific. So if you're not doing anything today, definitely watch that. I will be at the beach with my little brother and his fiance Tanya. Yes, I did say fiance. Brian proposed on Wednesday night. She said yes, at the ocean. How great is that? What a great place to do that. So congrats to Brian and Tanya on that. I will be seeing them shortly, and we'll be going to the beach. So I will not be watching the last round of the PGA Championship. I will be swimming in the ocean. So not a bad alternative. Vikings played last night. It's the same thing every year, right? people overreact to the first preseason game. Mark, top of the morning. B-Rad, what's up? You know, did I love seeing Kirk Cousins do well last night? Of course. Yeah, absolutely. You know, does it mean he's going to, you know, have a Pro Bowl season? Not one bit. You know, I mean, put it this way. If we go off of the first preseason game, Dalvin Cook shouldn't even play this year. We should just go with Rock Thomas, who, you know, had over 100 all-purpose yards and a touchdown, 2 touchdowns before half last night, I think is what it was. So, you know, obviously everybody always likes to overreact, pump the brakes. I did enjoy watching our defense. Paxton Lynch, he's terrible. Case Keenum didn't do well. So, you know, I mean, the Vikings, and again, Von Miller didn't play last night, but our patchwork offensive line, down 3 linemen, right, opened some pretty decent holes against that good Denver defense. Latavius Murray had a couple 20-plus runs, 4 carries, 43 yards for him. Like I mentioned, Dalvin Cook didn't play, but they gave Kirk Cousins, it seems like, little time. But again, this is the first preseason game. Next game, home at US Bank Stadium against Jacksonville and their defense. That's obviously going to be a little bit more stiff of a test. You know, and again, though, it'll be the second preseason game. I'm assuming the Vikings will probably put the starters out for a quarter, something like that. Jacksonville is actually going to Minnesota early this week to have joint practices. So they're going to, and those joint practices generally are non-contact, or I should say minimal contact. So I have a feeling there's going to be a little bit of pent-up frustration by the time Saturday night comes and those two square off. But that is going to be a much stiffer test. There's going to be much more play that happens. I can't wait to see Stephon Diggs and Jalen Ramsey. I'm not sure if Ramsey is going to play or not, but that's going to be fun. Stephon Diggs is legit. He is so legit. That catch he made on the sideline last night, you know, down to the whatever it was, 3 or something like that. Great pass, by the way, by Cousins to put it where the only place it could have been. But Diggs to lay out, to grab it. He is so good. And I mentioned, I can't remember exactly how long ago I mentioned, maybe 2 years ago. For sure last year. But Diggs is a poor man's Antonio Brown. And I feel strongly about saying that. Just like I did a couple years ago about Adam Thielen, at the time, being a poor man's Jordy Nelson. Now, obviously, he is, Jordy Nelson is a poor man's Adam Thielen. So it's good to have an offense that has potential. Getting the offensive line back and healthy is paramount, especially leading up to this week, going up against Jacksonville with the D-line that they have. They've got some ballers on that D-line. So it's going to be a huge test in Minnesota on Saturday night. It's such a, like last year, being a Vikings fan, obviously, everything went well until, the championship game against the Eagles. But, you knew the defense was going to carry Case Keenum in the offense. Obviously, Case Keenum in the offense ended up doing much better than anybody expected. But this year, it almost has a feel like, the defense is going to do what they do. And you should expect, and there's 84 million reasons why, to expect the Vikings offense to even be more dangerous and to put up even more points. What I'm getting at is you have the opportunity now for the Vikings, defense, as long as they play as good as last year, which they should, and if you keep people to, say, 15, 16 points a game, 17 points a game, you should, with the offense that the Vikings have and the weapons that they have, as long as the offensive line can be healthy and strong, they have a really good opportunity to be damn good. Really, really good. Think about in 09 when Favre was here and they lost the championship game, NFC Championship, to the Saints. The Vikings defense at that time wasn't nearly as good as it is right now. I mean, it wasn't bad, but you knew Favre and company was going to put up points. And that is the same type of thing. Obviously, Cousins is no Favre, but you have the feeling that the offense is going to be able to put up more points, possibly, and they should, than last year, especially with a healthy Delvin Cook back. And the defense is going to do what they do. So, obviously, again, pump the brakes, temper expectations, but at the same time, our expectations as Vikings fans should be through the roof. They really should. You're building on what was, a really good season last year, and now you've added a couple really, really big pieces in Kirk Cousins and Sheldon Richardson on the defense. I didn't necessarily see what he did. I wonder if I can bring that up real quick in the box score, if they even have that. All right, relax. I don't want that. Damn it. Oh, there it is. All right. I don't give a shit about this. Stop.
Okay back there, buddy?
Anyway, all right. So all I was trying to do, seriously, come on. I wanted to see if he even played. So I'm going to just be honest with you. I just caught highlights of the game. It's preseason. I wanted to see the first couple series. But as I mentioned earlier, and I'll tell Brian about it, the night didn't go. I didn't get to see the game. Let's just say that. But I'm looking for Sheldon Richardson in the defense, and I don't see him. I don't know. Maybe he didn't play. But either way, what I'm getting at is you have improved your team on both sides of the football, offensively and defensively. As long as you can remain healthy, which obviously right now on the offensive line, it's becoming a bit worrisome. Hopefully, Elflein comes back. Hopefully, Remmers comes back. I'm trying to think of the third that's missing too. But, by the way, Baker Mayfield looked really good. Really good. And that's the other thing about preseason, right? Like, oh my God, Baker Mayfield should start. People forget Tyrod Taylor went 5 of 5 for 99 yards and a touchdown. Again, it's just preseason. But
90 seconds.
what I will say is what I've said for a while. And it seems as though coaches have finally taken notice. And they've done it for a little bit, but it didn't used to be the way. Like, they would draft a guy and make him fit into their system. They wouldn't mold the system around the guy they drafted. And it seems now, I was watching that Cleveland Giants game Friday night, and it looked as though Baker Mayfield was literally playing in Oklahoma's offense again, which is super smart. Why would you draft Baker Mayfield number 1 overall and put him in a system that doesn't accentuate his talent and like put him under center or something like that? He was in shotgun. He was doing the zone reads. It looked exactly like he was at Oklahoma, and that is what coaches have gotten savvy to, privy, whatever you want to say, is utilizing the people's talents that they're coming in with, and that is what Cleveland did. It literally looked like I was watching Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma, just in different uniform, which is very smart. So there's football's back, baby. I'm so excited.
10
so
seconds.
excited. 10 seconds left. You guys have an awesome day. I'll think of me when I'm at the beach. I'll think of you. But Tough Love is out. I love you guys. I'll see you next Sunday with the recap, obviously, of Jacksonville and Minnesota. And yeah, have a good one. Drive fast, take chances. I'll see you later. I don't know how to end this. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh, there it is. Bye, guys.